Welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast with yours truly, Ryan McDonald.
And I'm Ty Press.
And this is our Super Bowl special.
One team that's obviously in the Super Bowl is our Birds. Dominated the Commanders. We already did a breakdown of the game, but we are just all jazzed up for this week.
Never a doubt. Before we get into it, please, as always, go subscribe to us on youtube.com/the Bell Ringers Pod. Subscribe, like our videos, tell your friends, and then follow us on our social media pages at Bell Ringers Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and then Spotify, also Bell Ringers Pod. Give a follow and a rate, review, whatever they call it over there now.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get into the Super Bowl, we do have to talk about some breaking news on the NBA side.
Probably won't be breaking by the time this comes out.
Yeah, it is.
It's big news.
It's Tuesday, and this is probably going to come out on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
But
still big news. Big news.
Yep, Dallas fans are hurting even more after their team failed to make the playoffs this year. Their favorite basketball player has been shipped to L.A. to go fight for a title with Bron.
25-year-old MVP candidate.
5-time All-NBA. You hate to see it.
I believe it was more All-Pros than Steph Curry already at this point in his career, or some crazy statistic like that. Like the dude is an absolute legend. Like he's a franchise player. And he's 25 years old.
Yeah, usually you don't give those up.
You don't give them up when they're 25 and they're taking you to the NBA Finals, dude. Like it's absolutely insane.
But Ty, you forget about the part that he apparently got the 270 pounds.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, but don't think about the fact he's like 6'7" or something or 6'9". So
yeah.
that doesn't have.
Right, he's a little pudgy. We can't afford to pay him.
He can't lose that weight. There's no way.
Yeah, he pulled a James Harden and he got big and then got shipped out, which honestly he's losing so much money going to LA.
Looking at him get off that plane, he didn't look that big. He didn't look that big.
He's 6'7". He's an athlete. Like, yeah, he's pudgy compared to the ripped fucking basketball players, but like he's still an athlete. Like he still moves better than any average person. Like the combination of not being able to get the Supermax because he got moved.
Yeah, his Supermax drops from I have it here. $345 million over 5 years to $229 million, so about $117 million difference.
And I think there was also a difference with the the income tax in Texas was like 0 compared to 14% or something like that in LA. Like absolutely, like he's gonna lose well over like hundreds of $million in this trade / It's just honestly, I don't know how I feel if I'm Luka. Like I think you're in a bigger franchise, but like at the same time, you're the star of Dallas at this point. It might have been all moved by Jerry Jones with how bad the Cowboys are doing. Like
yeah, but dude, like what are they getting out of it?
Yeah, like the Mavericks are getting a little too much attention. Like
all it does is just
gut them.
It just shows that Dallas has a worse GM than Jerry Jones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nico is a bad. It's just all because like it's not like Luka asked for like to get out. Like they were just like, no, we're not really. We don't like his conditioning, and we're not sure if we want to sign to the Supermax because of that conditioning.
And with this trade happening too, the viral clip, which I don't know how I feel like I've seen it, and I think it's just so much more weight to it now. After they won the Western Conference Finals, when Luka had a beer in his hand, celebrating outside, talking to another player, and what's his name, Nico?
I don't know.
The GM comes over, takes the beer out of his hand, and is like goes about his business, and like Luka's just looking at him like, and he like goes to get it back from the guy, just turns around and walks away, and I'm like, and it's absurd. Like
I remember seeing that at the time, and everyone was like now everyone's like, oh, like maybe we should have read into that more. Like they have a problem with his drinking and his conditioning.
Yeah,
must be an alcoholic.
Dude's having a good time. I don't know if this could go like a few ways. Like I said, does this mean that I know that LeBron has a no trade clause, but like I feel like. Does this mean that LeBron might be interested in moving somewhere else? He didn't take part in this trade, apparently. Like, he didn't know about it.
Late GM always does.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like they're like, I mean, apparently I think the Mavs went to them about it. So I think it wasn't necessarily like them being like, hey, is Luka available? And the Mavs being like, yeah. I think the Mavs were like, hey, would you want Luka? Hey, you're the only team we're talking to.
We have this 25-year-old superstar. We'll take that 33-year-old injury-prone AD.
Just so you know, we're willing to just talk to you and you only about this trade, so you have all the leverage.
It doesn't make sense. It's like the feedback that's gotten so far is just like there's no logical rhyme or reason when you really like try to dissect how any of this makes sense. Like if you're the Mavericks, you have this like you said, there are problems, whether it be that he's getting out of shape or he's an alcoholic. Don't disclose that and put him in the market, and you're gonna get an absurd amount of fucking draft picks for him. You're going to get so much more than what you got from the Lakers if you put them out on the market, and just makes no like.
Yeah. Or maybe like ask like OKC if they would like be like, hey, would you want to swap maybe Shai and Luka, or like Boston, hey, we want to swap Tatum? Like ask around.
I am gutting bad teams draft picks. Like, there are teams with so many.
They did this because they want to still win. They got a player like that.
AD. They don't want to win if they dropping Luka.
But they didn't just go for picks for the Lakers. They went for another player. So clearly, in their mind, they can still win.
Yeah, but you think? I mean, you're right. They went for an older guy, so it is a win now move.
Because if you're going for winning in the future, you might as well keep the 26-year-old
and not take the 32-year-old. Yeah, I mean, I get that point. Like, yeah, that definitely is not the right move if you're planning for a future. But like, you're also not getting anywhere near what you should be getting for Luka.
No, I mean,
it doesn't like it truly makes no sense. Like, there's so many trade like offers going out for players nowhere even in the same like league as good as Luka is, and they got in like three. Who was the one that got like 3 or 4 first-round picks recently? The guy that we drafted liked us a lot.
Bridges?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Pretty sure he got like 3 or 4 first-round picks.
I mean, I think the cat trade had a couple picks in there.
But like, dude, you're talking about like you're comparing Mikal Bridges to Luka Doncic, like.
Yeah, about the
same.
Like
he could literally probably he could have taken 9 first-round picks from a team.
Well,
like,
Bridges plays every game, so that's the difference.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't want to harp too much on the NBA, but like it's honestly this trade makes no sense. It's kind of disgusting if you really break like pandering to the big team. Like,
yeah, I did think it was kind of funny how like because the Jazz are also involved in this, but they acquired a player, and for them acquiring the player, they got given 2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like, hey, if you just like take this guy off our hands, we'll give you 2 second-round picks. And the Jazz didn't know. Danny Ainge, GM, didn't know up until about half an hour before the trade was finalized that Luka was part of it. So he was just told, hey, we'll give you this guy for 2 picks. He's like, okay. And then he goes, wait, Luka's in it?
Wait.
And he's going to LA.
The Mavs are shipping Luka.
You're telling me I could have made an offer for this guy? Maybe.
Yeah. I could have get it if you're willing to ship up this kind of material. Yeah, I mean,
I could have maybe offered Lauri Markkanen and like 2 first-round picks.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't make any sense. It's it really feels like the Lakers notice that LeBron is going out and he's like losing his prime.
They've secured their future up.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you got to give something up for a guy like that. Like, you can't just like get a absolute all-star franchise player that's 25 years old. For little to not, like, I hate doing that to like what's called AD, but
because like the Mavs gave up 3 players. Like, it's not just Luka.
I know.
It's Luka, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris, who, I mean, nothing really to write home about, but like, you get 2 players back and 1 first-round pick from the Lakers, who, I mean, 2029. So if they have Luka, it's probably not gonna be that good of a pick.
Right.
It's like,
that's you literally are getting nothing, and by 2029. AD's not on the fucking team anymore. He's retired. Like, like you're really getting nothing, dude. It's frustrating. It really is.
Maybe that first round pick could be a franchise player like Luka Doncic.
Yeah, maybe. Fingers crossed, Mavs. I mean, I am somewhat excited to see Luka with LeBron. Like, I think it is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's
gonna
be sweet.
Kind of in a mind state of like, I don't think the Sixers are gonna do much this year, so I'm kind of just be like, if I'm gonna watch,
we made a trade that.
And if I'm gonna watch the NBA playoffs, I'd like it to be like. The Lakers, the Lakers, like LeBron and Luka, will be fun to watch, and I will be excited for it. So
watch out for those Lakers 77 uniforms. Going to be everywhere soon.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, you got to be ecstatic if you're an LA fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Our boy Dallas Nick, has he said anything about the trade?
Yeah, he just tells me to shut the f up.
Yeah.
What's up, Nick? Thanks.
Yeah. Sorry, bud.
If you want to come on and talk about this, you're more than welcome to.
We miss you during the Cowboy season, but this would be a hot topic.
Yeah, you want to come on and talk about your new head coach Schottenheimer that I know you love. Talking about football, let's move on to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl LAX licks. Getting our licks back. So, I mean, Eagles home team yet again in green. Don't love that, as we were in green 2 years ago. But we're also in green 7 years ago to this date when we won. So, 1-1.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Jersey, wash.
It's going to New Orleans. New Orleans is 11th time hosting the Super Bowl, tied for the most hosting appearances with Miami.
I mean, it's Vegas. I feel like he's got to be up there too. But it's Vegas.
They haven't had
a football team. No, you're right. I'm just trying to think of like big cities like that would be up there. I mean, Miami and New Orleans definitely make sense. What other big?
I think it's just Atlanta, maybe. Just because it's like it's as a dome, it's warmer. Yeah. I mean, maybe I don't think Indy hosts that many Super Bowls.
L.A.
I mean, LA only really just got stadiums that would fit it.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like warm weather, but you're right because ours was in Minnesota that we won. Yeah,
it's just that dome.
They wouldn't play in a place like this if they didn't have a dome.
Which Jeffrey Lurie is got asked a question about: are we going to build a dome when we build a new stadium? I think our lease is up in 2032, and he said, he likes cold weather football, but he thinks Philadelphia deserves to host big events like the Super Bowl, and to do that we would need a dome. So I would, if we could do a retractable roof where we'd be able to host Super Bowl, but they would still open it up during snow games, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
but that probably the opening up during snow games probably wouldn't happen.
I don't think they would do that. Yeah,
would be sick though.
I think those are the exact reasons that they do the retractable roof, not for the occasional.
I just
Super Bowl.
Want the roof just to host a Super Bowl and nothing else.
Dust off the cobwebs and close it back up for the Super Bowl.
Well, you can close it up for like concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
I'd hate to see the link go. Maybe if they build an addition to it with the. It's
gonna go. It's gonna go at some point. They're gonna build a new stadium at some point. I mean,
but they're already building a new Sixers one. It's just gonna be a lot of construction over there, man. A lot of new changes.
Well, that one's probably gonna finish, and then they're probably gonna tear down old Wells Fargo
and then start building a new football stadium there.
Actually, no, there's no way they'd put it there. I think they kind of put the link just right next to it, where it is now. Like where they put
Jetro?
I don't know where they would put it.
I don't know either.
Because you'd have to keep the link up while you build a new one.
Yeah, you just built a new casino.
Maybe in Center City.
Yeah, Chinatown. The football stadium in Chinatown.
They just put it on the roof of like a building.
Oh, that'd be great. No, we're very happy that we're
Sears 1 and 2, right on City Hall, just on top of
Fishtown. So, New Orleans. I mean, it's a cool place to have a Super Bowl for sure. I mean,
it's gonna be. I would love to be there.
I'm jealous. My cousin, fresh cut, Nikki Cuts, Vendetti Cuts.
No free ads.
Devontae. No, I'll give him a free ad. I'll give him a free shout out. Devontae Smith. He cuts Devontae's hair. Devontae's flying him out to watch a game in New Orleans. He's not getting him a Super Bowl ticket, but he's cutting Devontae and AJ Brown's hair, and he got a flight to New Orleans for him and his fiance.
That's sick.
And I'm so jealous. First of all, he's got a AJ Brown jersey. He's probably gonna get that signed, hang that up in the shop now too. But dude, just getting flown out. He's gonna be flying with like the players' families and everything on their plane.
I picked the wrong job career.
I know. Isn't that fucking crazy? Goddamn barber, and he's cutting the Eagles' hair now. Shout out to you, cousin Nick.
This is also only the second time that two teams have had a rematch in the Super Bowl in a 3-year span.
It's only the second time that's happened.
Yeah, all the time it happened 91 to 93 when the Bills and Cowboys met twice.
And the Cowboys won both.
Yeah, and the Bills lost 4 in a row.
Yeah,
that was bad times.
Sorry, Buffalo.
But I think Ty mentioned this last week. This is also could be the second time the Eagles play spoiler to a potential three-peat. Mm-hmm. The last one was our Super Bowl win 2018, but it was in the middle of a Patriots three-peat. So, we beat them after their first win and before their third.
One would say we caught the Patriots during a hot streak.
Yeah.
And whooped them.
Yeah.
So, we have a reputation of being three-peat enders, I guess. So, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm confident. Keep giving me some weird stats if you got any more.
Yeah, well, we got 2 birthdays, Zaquan's birthday and Cooper DeJean's birthday and Vince Papale's birthday.
Also, cousin Nick's fiance Dahlia's birthday that they're going to be at the Super Bowl for. Sorry, last shout out.
February 9th, it's also Vince Papale's birthday.
Vince Papale. I mean, that's...
And you remember in the movie Invincible, what they do? They brought down a helper from New York to help out the bar. Who did we bring down from New York? Zaquan Barkley.
Oh.
The signs.
These are some serious signs that we got going on in our favor here. I mean, that's great. Cooper Jean and Saquon having birthdays on the Super Bowl is hilarious. Yeah. Them both saying it last week, like, yo, hell of a birthday. He's like, shit's going to go wild. Like, last week is obviously a slow week going into the Pro Bowl, but, like, this week has been great just seeing countless interviews with all the players and just...
Did you watch any of the Pro Bowl?
I watched some of it when I was at the airport.
Do you know Drake May and Russell Wilson were QBs for the AFC?
I did see Drake May in an interview. They asked at the Pro Bowl, would you rather be an Eagles fan at a Chiefs tailgate or a Chiefs fan at an Eagles tailgate? And everybody said they'd rather be an Eagles fan at a Chiefs tailgate.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Except for Drake May. It was the one person who was like, I think I'd rather be a Chiefs at an Eagles tailgate. Like, those Eagles fans, I feel like they're pretty fun and pretty rowdy. And the lady was like, you're the only person that feels that way. He's like, oh, well, really? Oh,
well, I think for the most part, like, I saw some videos, like, if you're just fine, I mean, after we win, some people are scumbags. Don't get me wrong. Definitely very true. But, like, if it's the tailgate and, like, you're just a nice fan, for the most part, we'll let you hang out.
You're going to get booed.
Yeah, like, but you're going to be fine as long as you just don't seem like a dickhead and a crybaby.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're hanging out with Eagles fans, like, for the most part, people are just going to give you shit. They're not going to, like, do anything to you.
Yeah, you might just get a free
beer. But if you, like, roll up with, like, a group of, like, obnoxious opposing fans, and, like I said, you're being rowdy,
like if you taunt, you're kind of asking for it.
You're asking for it in general. Wearing, I mean, not a lot of. I think we're one of the few fan bases that feel this way, but like wearing an opposing team's jersey into an away stadium is just stupid. It's a dumb move to do in general, and I think we've grown up in Philly and have kind of been like, I've witnessed like not violence, but like, dude, like what enjoyment do you like if you lose? You're not only do you have to deal with your team losing, but you also are having a miserable day with all the fans. Like,
yeah, I usually try and fake throw up on people.
And that's then like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
so nothing. I don't actually harm anyone. I just need to make a
and like if you do win, like you're yelling extremely outnumbered, and like you got to be thinking in your head like, I can't push this too far or else I'm going to get murdered. Like how can that be a fun experience? I would never do it. Like,
well, I would do it because I'd feel safe because
because most other fan bases aren't like that.
Well, there are a few. Like I don't know how much I'd like to do in Boston for like the Red Sox or like the Yankees. I feel like those would be bad places to do it.
Yeah.
I would never wear a Sixers jersey with Celtics team. Like, I would just wear.
I wouldn't be afraid of Cowboys fans. I wouldn't be afraid of Giants fans. I wouldn't be afraid of Commanders fans.
Basically, it's mainly Boston that I would.
Buffalo, but I feel like Buffalo's a mutual respect.
Yeah,
like I feel like I don't. If I saw somebody in a Buffalo jersey, we kind of had that mutual thing.
That's what you go. Where's the table at? You going through it?
Yeah.
That's.
You want to fucking shotgun against me? I think there's not many fan bases. You're right. Like I in my mind, I wouldn't do it just because I see how people are treated at our stadium. Depending on how you act is roughly somewhat related to how you are treated. You're gonna get treated bad in
you might get like a 16-year-old that thinks he's cool though and just takes your hat.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I saw a couple of those videos.
I don't even like that. Like,
no, I mean, I think it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, like the dude's. Yeah,
if a dude just walking by saying nothing and you're taking their hat, it's kind of.
Yeah, that hat cost money. Like you did just steal from the guy. You did just rob him, kind of. Yeah, I don't agree with stealing from old men, even if they're wearing Commanders gear.
What about women? I noticed you didn't include women in that.
They didn't get stolen. She didn't get stolen from. I'm all for stealing women's hats. I got no problem with that.
So one Cam Newton did say that our birds would not make the Super Bowl in the AFC. And do you want to tell the people how we've done against AFC for Jalen Hurts?
I believe we are 14-1.
Yeah, that's true. And we've also beaten the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Steelers,
the Bills, the
Bengals, Browns. Beating a lot of the teams in the AFC that are supposed to be good.
Yeah, we've done very well against them. And a recent video, so Cam Newton said that on. Was it First Take?
First Take. With his big hat. His hat usually goes up to about here, and he speaks in hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
He's on Instagram.
He later was talking to Jalen. I don't know if it's been this week. It was this week for the whole Super Bowl. I think it might have been
the media stuff. I think it was like yesterday. I think they did a big media day.
He was talking to Jalen about how Cam only went to the Super Bowl once, and he lost, and like what that moment was for him. And he's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be vulnerable with you. Like, I cried. And he goes, now you are getting, like, that second chance. Like, what is your main thought process? And, like, Jalen's like, focus. Just be focused and finish this time. He goes, I mean, I can relate to you, not on the crying part, but... and, Cam just starts cracking and laughing. And, like, Jalen just completely roasted. Like, no, I know how you felt when you lost. I didn't cry, though. Like, it was just beautiful. Like, just... You had this dude talking shit on Jalen and the Eagles, and then Jalen's like, well, I didn't cry when I lost, but
yeah, that was a tough one.
What, that loss?
Yeah, because I mean, was that when they lost like 10-7?
Well, like the Panthers?
Yeah, So pretty sure their loss was like it was like pretty sure we had like a very low scoring like one of the. It might have been I might be thinking of the wrong Super Bowl. I might be thinking of Brady versus the Rams.
Who did Cam lose to?
Peyton Manning and the Broncos. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I feel like it was the Broncos or who else was it?
Might have been Patriots, but I thought it was Broncos.
Just frying Cam back for what he said against our team.
Yeah.
I loved seeing that.
And then we have some historical things we could do. Saquon Barkley obviously could break the all-time rushing yards record in a single season that includes playoffs with 30 more yards to beat Terrell Davis's record. And then I also saw that we own the record for the most rushing touchdowns in a single season at 42 from 2022. We currently have 39. So we need 4 more to break our own record from 2 years ago.
Wow. That's actually crazy. So last year when the last time we made it to the Super Bowl, we had 42 rushing touchdowns?
Yeah.
Wow, and we're at 39 now. All right, very cool. At least tying it would be something like back-to-back Super Bowl runs, back-to-back. Yeah. You don't really have to break your own record, but tying it twice is dope.
Those are mostly my at least record stats.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah. Devontae Smith against Steve Spagnuolo has produced quite well.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 3 games. He has 7 receptions for 122 yards, 7 for 100, and then 6 for 99.
Averaging over 100 yards.
Yeah. So the 7 for 100 was in the Super Bowl, and then the 6 for 99 was last year in the regular season.
Yeah. Okay. Love to hear that. The boy Smitty. Gonna be looking fresh by my cousin. Yeah, so kind of teasing into our Super Bowl parlay, we are definitely leaning Devontae Smith because dude's eating against them.
Yeah, and then kind of one thing with that, I have been seeing a bunch of things about Fangio's record versus Mahomes, which does not look good. It's 0-8, but if you look at Mahomes' stats in those games, it's not really all that crazy. I mean, the Chiefs only averaged 24 points in those games. It's mainly their defense keeping Fangio's offense, which is not
his power.
Yeah, he was a head coach for some of the teams, but
he's a defensive guy. Though.
They kept his teams to 14.5 points a game. It's kind of easy to win those games when your defense shuts them down.
Right. I was gonna say if your only goal is to be the defensive mind on a team, you seem to be doing well against Patrick Mahomes. That's all we're asking him to do.
Yeah, I mean, out of those 8 games, they've only gotten over 16 points twice.
Do you think this is a high-scoring Super Bowl?
I think it's going to go the over. So the over is at 48.5, at least it was earlier when I put the ticker together.
48.5. You have 2 great defense. I think these are the number 1 and 2 defense.
Yeah,
right?
but
it's a Super Bowl. Though.
Yeah.
Last time we played in the Super Bowl, we did score. What was the final score? It's like we were both at over 20, or was it 20 or 30 something?
I already got 38-35.
38-35. Yeah.
So that would hit 73. That's a pretty high scoring Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It doesn't really bode well. Well, the Chiefs are not scoring well this season, averaging 22.5 points a game. A little bit higher. They're averaging 27.5 in the playoffs, but it's only 2 games.
I know this defense is. I think this defense is better than the one we had.
Oh, absolutely.
In the last Super Bowl too. I know we had a great D line. No, we had our D line. I think statistically was better.
Well, the sacks were better. Yeah,
our sacks were but
our linebacker core is
cornerback, everything core. Yeah. Our whole pass defense is a lot.
No
better.
Bradbury this time.
No Bradbury to get a stupid penalty.
He has a 6 to 8 week injury that's still going on.
We got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, which is big. Which is probably honestly, and Slay, the 2 good players in that D-back core.
Might get BG back, which would be huge.
Oh my God, that would be fucking awesome. If we can get BG back, would be incredible.
Another little strip sack at the end of the game would be sweet.
Yeah. Oh, I hope he's back for the game. I think he is too.
And the one big thing is I keep saying there's turnover battle is a big thing. We're plus 11 in these. We're plus 11 for the season, plus 10 in just the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think he hasn't turned the ball. Jalen hasn't turned the ball over once.
We haven't, but we have a plus 11 differential in the whole season, and we have plus 10 in 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
We have 6 fumble recoveries and 4 interceptions. Just eating up on defense.
The fumbles have been incredible. Our boys are right hooking the ball. The one Zach Bond pulled on number 2.
Brown.
Yes. The one Zach Bond pulled on him. Cooper Jean was wrapping him up and was running him to the sideline. And Bond just came in when you have one guy wrapping him up, you're full focus and
just the old
Bond
Peanut Tillman punch.
Came in, punched Cooper's arm and Delani's arm, and the ball just popped right out. And then Freed Blankenship recovered. Just being that second man in, our guys have been so good at punching the ball loose. And Jalen Carter is just like, well, I feel like once every like 3 games, just even if the guy's not getting tackled, just full focus, punches the ball right out.
Well, he's pretty good at reading the offensive line and kind of knowing when they're going to pull. So he knows like he can kind of just get a quick step in there and not have to worry about his initial man, like his head-on-head guy blocking.
He's such a beast, dude. Such a beast, Jalen Carter.
Do you have a little blind resume I want to ask you about? So what quarterback would you rather have? This is just this season. One averages 265 yards a game, 28 total touchdowns, and 12 total turnovers. The other one averages about 250 yards a game, 32 total touchdowns, and 9 total turnovers.
I'd go with the option B, Ryan.
Yeah, you want to take a guess who that is?
Is that Jalen Hurts?
That is Jalen Hurts.
Oh, is the other one Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, that would be correct.
I was wondering what the blind quarterback resume was going to be.
It was just those two.
That's why, like, you started doing it. I was like, I wonder what these quarterbacks are.
People are asking, is Jalen Hurts a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes?
Start putting some respect on the dude's name. They don't even have him in the top 4. Disrespectful. If he wins, okay, Ryan, let me ask you this.
Is Jalen Hurts on the top 4 quarterbacks in the Super Bowl right now?
Would you put him above? How'd you know that was what I'm going to ask? No. Who are you putting Jalen Hurts above? And there is a solid 4. There really is.
At least Jordan Love.
No, he's not in there. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. If Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl and has gone to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, starting 4 years, I believe, right? Is this his 5th year starting or 4th
year?
All right, so out of 5 years he started, he's made it to the playoffs
every time.
He's made it to the Super Bowl twice and now has won one once.
We'll have
one. In this hypothetical.
Yes. Fair point.
He will have more Super Bowls than 3 of those 4.
Everyone except for Mahomes, yeah.
He already has been to more Super Bowls than 3 of those 4.
Yeah, I mean...
No, Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl.
Well, he would have been to more.
Now he will have been to... I said he is already. Now he will have been to more Super Bowls than 3 of the 4, and will have won one, and the 3 haven't. Is winning a statistic for a quarterback enough that you would put him above any of those guys?
The tough thing would be, because Lamar already has 2 MVPs, so it's kind of hard to put him above him. If Josh Allen gets this one, I don't think almost anyone would say yes to putting him above Josh Allen, but it'd be kind of hard not to. But Joe Burrow would be the one where it's like, you don't have any MVPs.
No, but he took a terrible team to the Super Bowl.
No,
I know. No O-line. Joe Burrow is the one that I think, I mean, obviously you're right. Lamar Jackson with all the MVPs is tough. Josh Allen, I think you could give a case for him, but Josh Allen shows up in the, like, Lamar Jackson is a regular season Hall of Fame level quarterback, but not a playoff Hall of Fame level quarterback. Jalen Hurts balls out in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the one thing with Josh Allen is his defenses have usually always been pretty good as well. So it's not like you can say, because like Joe Burrow kind of almost does it for his team. Like without him, I mean the defense has been okay. Was pretty good last year, but like this year was pretty bad. So like for the most part, you could kind of say Joe Burrow kind of really has to put the team on his back, especially with like their like poor offensive line. But Josh Allen, the team around him has usually always been pretty well and played pretty well. So in that way, you could say, well, is he just also taking advantage of good players around him, like Jalen Hurts? So in that way, I could see that argument.
It's a tough one because like skill wise of the player, you're like if you take the records out, you're not arguing Jalen Hurts for any of these guys, really.
Yeah.
At what point are we considering wins a quarterback statistic? And if so, Jalen Hurts is a winner. Like he's not the flashy get the numbers guy, but he's winning. He put up the best performance, I think, by a quarterback in the Super Bowl. Because I guess Tom Brady in.
No, yeah, I think it was better than Nick Foles's.
Really?
Yeah, it was either better or slightly under the Nick Foles' record. So it's
one of the best quarterback performances in Super Bowl history against Patrick Mahomes, and a couple rinky-dink penalties and stuff don't go his way. He could be winning a Super Bowl in his first 3 years. To a point, like I said, and he made it back. And it's like we are a very judgmental city to a point where like we are asking if Sirianni's the right coach, asking if Jalen Hurts is the guy, and we are the most winning NFC team as far as NFC championship performances, playoff wins in the last 20 years. Like,
yeah, I mean Nick Sirianni is statistically one of the best coaches of all time.
Yeah, and Jalen Hurts has made it to the playoffs every single year. Has made it to 2 Super Bowls now. Like, really, like it depends. Like, if he has another great performance, this is God forbid, he has another great performance, and we don't win this game.
I'm gonna blame the refs. That's gonna be because I can't. There's no sod father this time, so I can't. I 100% am positive that if the grass was different, we would have won that game.
We have the best sack team in the entire NFL, and didn't get a single sack.
Even when Mahomes was hurt.
Yeah,
That doesn't.
It is like a crazy reach for excuses saying the grass is the reason we lost Super Bowl. But if you watch that game, we were the number one team at getting pressure on the quarterback, and our defense was all over the floor, falling like slipping.
If the Sodfather didn't get given a Super Bowl ring by the Chiefs during their first Super Bowl, that
helps as well as to help our case. It's a conversation to be had. If Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl. To a point, winning is a quarterback statistic. If you're calling the quarterback the leader of the team and you're talking about a team that is having a solid consistency of winning, you should be giving more respect to that quarterback and the coach, to be fair.
The Super Bowl is a big part of it because, Matthew Stafford has a ton of great stats and has had them for a while. And for a long time, everyone was like, "Oh, like Matthew Stafford, does he deserve to get in the Hall of Fame?" And it was always like, "Oh, he's never won a Super Bowl," and then he has. Now, I don't think he's gonna have any problem getting in.
No.
So I think just
getting the longevity of his career.
Yeah, but even without that, I think
without Super Bowl, he wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, but I think with that, kind of really changes a lot of the, the narrative and kind of because no one can be like, "Oh, well, he never won the big one."
He won it against Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if we're going to get the shift in respect, but I think it should be given if Jalen Hurts does get a win here.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Mahomes basically had a Jalen Hurts stat line in the last Super Bowl, and apparently that was good enough to... Didn't he get an MVP?
Regular season MVP or Super Bowl?
No, the Super Bowl MVP. Because it was... Or was it Kelsey?
No, I think it was Mahomes.
Yeah, 182 passing yards. Did have 3 touchdowns, but that's like a Jalen Hurts stat line.
Yeah, it does sound like a Jalen Hurts stat line, but he's getting carried by Saquon. He wouldn't be able to do it without Saquon.
Speaking of which, Jalen Hurts in that last Super Bowl was our leading rusher. So, our second leading rusher was Zach Gainwell with 21 yards. So I think it's Kenneth Gainwell with 21 rushing yards. So I think it's a pretty big upgrade.
Kenneth Gainwell? Wait, when second Super Bowl that was Miles Sanders, right?
Yeah, it's 7 for 16 yards.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, so not good. So there might be a big difference. Having a rushing game might be advantageous for us.
Miles Sanders rushed for 16 yards in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, 7 for 16. Gainwell was 7 for 21.
What did Jalen throw for? Jalen threw for
304.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of throwing.
300 point. I know. I figured that.
But we still,
Still, what did Kenny have?
7 for 21. So
wow.
3 yards a carry.
Yeah, that is actually insane.
And James Cook last week had 5 yards a carry. He was, 85 yards on 13. So, 6.5 yards a carry. I'm pretty sure Saquon can get about that.
Oh, yeah. Saquon's going to eat, dude.
Just give the ball 30 times. Just never stop. That's one thing. Because, we need to, when we're up, if and when we get up, 2 scores, you just got to keep pounding the rock and just pushing and be aggressive.
I feel like every 10 to 12 rushing attempts, Saquon's going to break one loose for at least 40, 50 yards. Yeah.
Which I think, I put in the ticker, I think it said longest touchdown. It was over under 33.5 yards or 32.5 yards, easily hitting that over.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's going to break one.
Yeah.
Or
AJ or Devontae.
Yeah. I was going to say.
Over 33, I 100% would hit that too.
The shortest was over under 1.5 yards.
But I would put on that too because we're going to get a tush push.
Yeah, but it was minus 135. It was. Okay. I think they saw
that. They know the tush push is going to happen.
They saw that one coming. Which tush push was our first touchdown last Super Bowl?
I saw somebody. We're going to get into our parlay for the Super Bowl soon. Somebody, there's a podcast they were talking about this. I think it was a Bears fan. They're all Chicago fans, but they're dream scenario. The Chiefs are up by 3 going into the end of the game, and we get a tush push by the Eagles to win the game. And the Chiefs are so angry that they complain to the refs enough that the next season the tush push is now banned. So we don't get the Chiefs 3-peat and we lose that garbage ass Eagles tush push. And I was like, that is hilarious. I would believe if everybody fan base saw that video, they'd be like, I agree with that. Everybody hates the tush push by the Eagles, and nobody wants to see the Chiefs win 3-peat.
I would hate it too if I also wasn't an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I love it
because if I just knew
other teams are trying it and it's not going well.
If I knew going against our team that was going to happen, I would be pissed. But at the same time, I don't know if I'd really be calling for it to be banned because if it's a legal play, it's a legal play.
Yeah, it's a legal play.
Because like you said, other teams trying to do it and failing kind of means it's not guaranteed.
It's guaranteed when your quarterback and your running back squat for a combined 1,200 yards.
And our offensive line.
And we have the best offensive line in the league. We have the best offensive line in the league and the strongest running back and the strongest quarterback in the league.
Yeah, so the blueprint's out to win games. Get the best offensive line in the league, the best running back, and the quarterback that could squat 600 pounds.
Yeah, and
it's easy.
And then you're guaranteed that 1 yard gain.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's easy. It comes as often as about Luka Doncic's.
To these Super Bowl picks.
Yeah, there's some nice betting statistics or records on our side. So in the Super Bowl, teams that had a bye facing one that didn't are 14-12 straight up. So usually they lose. So that doesn't look good for
teams that have a bye usually lose in the Super Bowl. The teams that don't.
Yeah.
Okay. We can practically call that Washington game a bye.
Oh, also the spread. I mean, I think having the tickers -1.5 for the Chiefs, it changed to -0.5 for the Eagles.
Yeah. Just saw that. I mean, like I said, we're recording on Tuesday night. The odds always change a few times throughout the Super Bowl week. So
yeah. So with that, I'm not going to read the stats I had lined up that would be in favor of the team, the underdog, because that would no longer help me.
Yeah.
Because I had a couple. I had some of those lined up. I'm not going to say them now.
The underdog before Tuesday of the Super Bowl week normally does win. Do you want to go into our parlay, or do you have other betting odds?
Yeah, we can go into the parlay because most of them were.
I put money on it now, even though we don't have our Super Bowl booster yet. I might even just out of my pure confidence in this bet. This is how good I feel about it. When it gets close to Super Bowl, just put another possibly 25 on it and add the booster to it. Because that's how happy I am with this bet that we have going right here.
I am getting a little bit of PTSD from 2 years ago when I was going into the Super Bowl with possibly winning about $7,000. All I needed was Eagles win the Super Bowl off of like $85.
You combine that with the Phillies win the NL, right?
Yeah, it was a great bet. I mean, great bet by me. It died, and so did I that day.
I had a $600 possible cash out before the game.
Well, no, they took my cash out away after the NFC Championship game.
Did they?
Yeah, but it got up to like $2,000 at one point between all three of them. Yeah, that was sad.
I remember watching that game with you too, and like when Mahomes went down.
Yeah, you weren't with me.
No, I think I was just texting you about it. When Mahomes went down, and like, dude.
Oh, I was ecstatic.
You're locked in. Don't hedge it. Don't hedge it. That's a dub right there.
I think I ripped like 2 shots going into halftime. I was like, this is fun.
Yeah, your boy's coming out with 7 Gs.
I started looking up things to buy online. And then I was like,
How much do yachts go for nowadays?
Let's buy Daddy a house.
But Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
Damn, what are the new J's out? You think I get a rollie with this?
Our Super Bowl parlay. Me and Ryan both made 2 picks. Combine them for a 4-leg parlay. Right now, we're looking at plus 900 odds without a booster. If you're seeing this on Thursday or Friday, I think they will have added a booster by then.
Always make sure to check for boosts before you make bets.
Yeah,
you never want to make the bet and then find the boost and be like, oh, man.
Yeah, that always happens. Yeah, we both made 2 picks. We're looking at it without a booster, already at plus 900. You could probably boost that up to 1,200. Yeah, 1,200.
You might be able to get like a 25% boost.
Yeah.
Like
so, my 2 picks, like I said, I think these Chicago guys might be right about one thing. I think Jalen Hurts will be getting a touchdown at some point in this game. So, give me Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. And my other pick is going to be Jalen Hurts rushing yards over 38.5. How many do we have? How many did he have against them last Super Bowl, Rye?
70.
70.
So almost double that.
Yes, almost double that. So, I will be taking over 38.5 rushing yards for Jalen Hurts and a Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown at any time.
As I was mentioning, Devontae Smith's been going off against Steve Spagnuolo's defenses, so I'm gonna take his over for receiving yards at 52.5. As I keep saying, turnovers make the winner. So we're going to go Patrick Mahomes 1+ interception thrown.
Let's go.
Hasn't thrown one yet this playoffs, but it's coming. He's due.
Give Q another playoff interception just to lock in him not getting one all regular season.
Either that or it's gonna be or Blankenship. I would love a Blankenship
would be great. I think CJ.
All of them look the same. All of them are just him diving at the ground, catching it, and then just being down immediately.
Like fourth quarter diving on the ground, just catching a pick that completely changes the game. He would be a great one. I don't think Coop's got one yet. But he's going to be lined up.
I thought he might have gotten one.
No, I don't think Cooper doesn't have one yet. He might be lining up in the slot against Travis Kelce a good bit, too, so he's going to be targeted.
As you know, he can tackle big guys, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Fucking laid down Derrick Henry on a 1v1 tackle. I'm excited to see that matchup. I'm sure we're going to do some kind of linebacker help on him, too.
Yeah.
But
what do you got for the first touchdown? Who do you pick?
First touchdown, I hammered Saquon last week, and it worked so well.
I think it's probably going to be a good bet again.
Yeah, I know, but the odds are going to be garbage now. Do I put the rest of my winnings on Saquon Barkley first touchdown? Dude, we were watching the Washington game, and, like, I built a couple parlays. One of them hit. The other one didn't. It was, like, right before the game. I'm like, dude, I just have a good feeling Saquon is going to take one long first touchdown. So I put like 50 on Saquon first touchdown, which I never do first touchdowns. I'm always nervous about them. And then I'm watching the Washington drive, and they just keep converting fourth downs. Like, dude, come on. And then first play breaks it loose. I think I talked about this last week. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. I had like halfway through the story. I'm like, we had an episode between now and then. Like, shit, I already told the story. But
rerun,
yeah, recap. If you didn't catch it last week, this is what happened last week. Yeah, so do you want to recap our draft or our parlay?
Yeah, for our Super Bowl LIX parlay, my picks are Devontae Smith over 52.5 receiving yards and Patrick Mahomes 1+ interception thrown.
And my picks are Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown and Jalen Hurts 38.5 rushing yards. They combine for plus 900. Give some extra coin in the pocket. It's a good bet. And this is without any boosters. Again, if you can get boosts, add the boosts.
Boost it up.
Boost it up. Boost it up. Boost it up. Go Birds. This next week's episode is going to have two very different tones. It's two very different possibilities of what we're going to be talking about next week, Ryan.
Yeah, if we lose, I'm going to be upside down.
Probably. We could, I not to look too much in the future here, but parade would be on a Tuesday, right?
Either that or a Thursday.
Imagine a Tuesday parade and then ending the day here and recording.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Yeah, I would love that.
So I took off work Monday, so either way, if we come back here, probably gotta do something.
That's what I'm worried about too. Is like, I think I should really try to get to work, and even if it's a little bit late, get to work on Monday.
Oh, so you can.
So I can take off Tuesday for the parade.
I already requested off for Monday.
I know, but what about Tuesday?
It's probably gonna be Wednesday or Thursday, and if that happens, I'll probably just also be able to say I'm not going.
Yeah, I really think I'm gonna try and get to work at least a little bit late on Monday.
I just did it because I know I'm not gonna want to drive home from Philly. So
I'm
probably just gonna stay here.
That's fair. That's
hang
fair.
out for a couple hours.
Oh, that's gonna be so frustrating if you're staying here and not going home or not going to work. Not saying you can't. I'm just saying me going to work in the morning.
Oh, for you? I thought you were talking about for me. I was like, why would they be frustrating
for me? Knowing that you took off and you're staying. So this is it, guys. Super Bowl week. We are pumped. And I think it's going to be a great game. Really, just go Birds. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment.
Yeah, this is the start of our three-peat.
Yeah, that's right. This is the start of our three-peat. Give us your predictions on the scores.
Oh, yeah. What do you want to go for the prediction? Oh, well, also, I guess we both said over?
Yeah. I mean, what is it, 48.5?
Yeah.
I still think it's two great defenses, but I still think we're just going to be a high-scoring game. It's just this matchup is electric, the two of us. So
let's just give both of our quick. So my Super Bowl LAX prediction is going to be Birds 33, Chiefs 26.
I'm feeling. I think it's gonna be closer than that. Honestly, I'm saying Eagles 28, Birds 24, or Eagles 28, Chiefs 24. Yeah, I think it's gonna be slightly closer, but it's gonna be mid 20s to mid 30s. I think both scores are gonna reside. Give us your predictions on the scores. Who you think's gonna win? Why? Like I said, we love comments. We love seeing them. We love talking to you guys. We love the feedback we've been getting since we've gone live. We appreciate all the attention and all the likes and comments and everything, guys. It means a lot.
Let me know who you initially picked for that player A, player B scenario. I just want to take a poll.
Yeah.
I just want to tally up the stats.
And we gotta make that into a clip. Like, let me give you a blind scenario about two quarterbacks, and you can see me go like. All right, but
completely random quarterbacks.
Yeah, go Birds, guys! Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Go Birds.